Okay, you've captured all your clips, you've organized them into bins, and now you're ready to begin editing. Before we do that, let's take a few moments to go over the various interface windows and briefly cover their function. This window in the far left corner of the screen is called the Viewer window. The viewer's primary function is for selecting the portions of the video you want in your final program, a process referred to as marking your clip. It is here you will set your in and out points before adding the clip to your timeline. The window directly below the viewer is called the timeline. This is where you will add your trim clips to build your video program. Final Cut Express's timeline automatically opens with 2 video tracks and 4 audio tracks. Keep in mind that Final Cut Express will allow you to add up to 99 video tracks and up to 99 audio tracks if you so desire. The window directly to the right of the viewer window is called the Canvas window. The function of the canvas is to display your program visually as you build it in the timeline. The timeline and the canvas are really 2 sides of the same coin. That is, one displays your work graphically, while the other displays your work visually. Together, these windows are represented by a single icon in the browser called a sequence. If you ever lose track of one or both of these windows, all you need to do to get them back is double-click on the sequence icon in the browser. This small vertical window here is called the Tool Palette. The Tool Palette is used to alter and adjust your clips once they've been placed in the timeline. This colorful little window is called the Audio Levels Meter. You use this window to monitor your audio levels so you can achieve optimum dynamic range while preventing audio distortion. If you wish, you can change your window arrangements to accommodate a variety of display sizes and configurations. From the window menu, just select Arrange to choose a layout. The process of editing begins by opening a clip in the viewer and selecting the portion of the clip you want to use in your program. Double-click on a clip in the browser to open it in the viewer. Once in the viewer, you can view the clip in a number of ways. You can click the play button, press the space bar on your keyboard, or drag on this little yellow triangle called a playhead to move or scrub through your clip. Once you've located the frame you want as your starting point, click this button called the Mark In button. A black right-facing triangle will appear to show you the location of your marked in point. Now click and drag the playhead to the right to locate the frame you want to end on, then select your out point by clicking the Mark Out button. Now you see a left-facing triangle representing the out point location. The duration or length of a clip between the in and out points is reported in this window called the duration field. If you want to change the location of either the in or the out point, just move the playhead to a new location and reset the in point by clicking either the Mark In or Out buttons. Additionally, you can click and drag on the markers representing the in and out points to change their location. Notice, as I drag the out point, the duration field updates to reflect the clip's new duration. Once you have your in and out point set, you can add the clip to the timeline. There are 2 easy ways to do this. One method is called drag and drop editing, and the other I call canvas editing. We'll explore drag and drop editing first. Just like the name implies, you click and drag your clip from the viewer and drop or place it in the track you want it to go into. In this example, I've placed my video in the V1 track because I want to leave the V2 track available for my titles. My audio automatically got placed in tracks A1 and A2. Now I'll open a new clip in the browser and set my in and out points as I did before. Then drag the clip from the viewer into the timeline. Before releasing the mouse, I'll need to make sure that the left edge of the clip is flush against the right edge of the first clip. Final Cut Express ensures this will happen by a feature called snapping. As long as my mouse is in physical proximity to the first clip, my new clip will magically snap to the right edge of the first clip when the mouse is released. To play a sequence and preview your edits, just drag the playhead to the beginning of the timeline window, then click the play button in the canvas window. As a keyboard shortcut, you can also press the home key and then the space bar to do the same thing. Now let's look at how to perform a canvas edit. In this type of edit, you move your playhead to the location you want your next clip to be placed in the timeline. Currently, the playhead is parked at the end of the sequence. But if, for example, I wanted the new clip to be placed between the first two clips, I would drag the playhead to the left until the playhead snaps to the edit point. I'll open up a new clip in the viewer, then set my in and out points, and then drag the clip from the viewer into the canvas window. Notice these colorful overlays that pop up, which give you a choice of 7 different editing styles. For this edit, I'm going to choose the yellow Insert style. An insert edit places the clip in the viewer to the right of the current playhead position, while pushing the other clips in the timeline to the right in order to make room for this new clip. Insert edits always change the total length of your program by the duration of the clip you are inserting. Track targeting allows you to change which tracks your clip's video and audio will land on after the edit. For example, if I click the V2 track target light and select the A3 and A4 target lights before I perform the edit, the resulting edit will place the video on the V2 track and its accompanying audio on tracks A3 and A4. As another example, perhaps I want to do an edit where I want the video on V1 and no audio at all. I would need to deselect the A3 and A4 audio target lights and then select the target light on V1. When I perform the edit, video will only show up in the V2 track while the audio tracks remain empty. The tool palette is where you'll find all the tools to manipulate your edits after they've been placed in the timeline. Your primary editing tool is called the Selection tool, and it's found at the top of the tool palette. This tool's primary function is to allow you to move clips or groups of clips around the timeline. It also allows you to lengthen or shorten clips in the timeline if you position your cursor on the edge of a clip. Another important tool is the Roll tool. It allows you to click and drag on an edit point to simultaneously adjust both sides of an edit point. Directly beneath the Roll tool is the Ripple tool. The Ripple tool is used to adjust only one side of an edit point, while causing all clips to the right of the adjustment to move or ripple by the amount of the change. Another handy tool is the Razor Blade. The Razor Blade functions like a digital splicer. Clicking on a clip with the Blade tool creates a cut. This is useful, for instance, when you want to cut out a section of a clip. Next, we'll look at how to add transitions and effects to your edit.